Why play Kha'Zix Jungle? Well, he has insane burst damage. He's a resetting hyper carry, he is incredibly mobile, and he's just brilliant fun to play. However, he is squishy for a champion that wants to jump in, and he can struggle from behind not having the damage to reset. Kha'Zix is passive as he gains unseen threat every time the enemy loses sight of him. He keeps this buff until his next basic attack against an enemy champion, which deals additional damage and slows. In addition, when he gets each rank of ultimate, he can upgrade his abilities. Kha'Zix's Q has a passive which highlights isolated enemies by putting a circle around them. The active is a point and click ability which deals damage to the target. This damage is massively increased if it's against an isolated target. When the Q is evolved, Kha'Zix gains bonus attack range on all of his basic attacks and this ability. In addition, if Q is used against an isolated target, the cooldown is massively reduced. Kha'Zix's W is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to the enemy hit and enemies nearby them. If Kha'Zix is close, he also heals himself. The upgraded version fires 3 skill shots in a cone which slow and reveal enemies hit. Isolated targets are also massively slowed. Kha'Zix's E leaps him in a direction, dealing damage in a circle where he lands. His Q can also be cast while using this ability. When upgraded, he can leap even further and the cooldown is reset upon a champion takedown. Kha'Zix's ultimate causes him to go invisible for a short amount of time and gain a burst of movement speed. And he can use this ability twice close together. And of course, going invisible normally gives you back your unseen threat passive. When this ability is evolved, he can use it 3 times and the invisibility lasts longer. For combos, start with ult into an auto attack in W, follow up with an auto attack into Q, auto attack into ult, and then spam away with more attacks. And a sneaky engage combo is to use ult into your E, Q as soon as you're in range, and then use auto into W, auto into ult, and then keep spamming away. For matchups, Kha'Zix is amazing into squishier junglers who can easily one-shot and reset on, and he can struggle into tankier champions with good lockdown who he can't blow up. For runes, take this. First strike gives you even more burst damage and money. For build order, start Blue Monster and Pot into a Ghost Plate and Tier 2 boots. After this, an Opportunity and Edge of Night are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. When evolving abilities, evolving Q into W and E is the go-to. However, if you want additional mobility, evolving Q into E and W is also very strong. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, you have a few different options. The safest option is always to do a full jungle clear to make sure you're as strong as you can be to fight for Scuttle Crab if needed. From this point, you can either back or look for a gank. When ganking, always consider the 3 main points of what CC does your team bring, what escapes does the enemy have, and where is the lane push to. When ganking, if you can save your jump to chase any flash or dash, your chance to kill goes through the roof. Entering the mid game, you are one of the best champions in the game at picking off a target and converting into an objective. So keep up aggressive wards. If a target's ever by themselves, jump on them, assassinate them, and take the objective. Entering late game team fights, you want to play as the resetting assassin. Wait for the fight to start and use your ultimate and E to flank onto the fight. Get onto one of their backline carries and burst them with your massive burst combo. From here, rely on your ult to keep yourself alive, before choosing the next easiest target and jumping on them.